what conditions will arise? There's a rough surface. Because we discussed with the force applied, no? So let me project a body block on a rough surface. Will there be any friction? Because as such, the discussion I made in such a way that if you apply force, then friction will act here. No, the friction will act to oppose relative motion. Is there any relative motion between surfaces as it is? This is surface 1, this is surface 2. How to predict the direction of friction? So I'm just taking help of the relative motion. So U12 equal to U1 bar minus U2 bar. The ground will move when you project a block. No, it will be a test. So what is the direction of U12 bar plus Ui cap equal to U1 minus 0. So what is the direction? This will be Ui cap. This is 0. So what is U12 bar? Velocity of 1 with respect to 2. What direction? It is towards right. So what direction the friction should act? To oppose relative motion. The friction by the ground on the block should be opposite to U12. So therefore the friction here will act here. Let's calculate the velocity U21. U21 bar. U2 bar minus U1 bar. What is U2 bar? 0. What is U1? Ui cap. So look at U21 bar. What is the velocity of the ground with respect to block? It is directed like this. So therefore how the friction on the ground by the block opposite to U21. Okay, got this. So how to predict the direction of friction? You must take help of the relative velocity. Kinetic friction. So definitely the friction acting, this is kinetic. So how to predict the kinetic friction? We must take help of the relative motion, not just like the friction will act opposite to always the friction will act opposite to direction of motion. They'll be wrong. I'll give an example. This will be platform. So there's a block. This is a belt, or you can say platform. This I'll give velocity 6 meters per second. The platform is having velocity 2 meters per second. On the platform, I'll give velocity. These velocities are with respect to ground. Now I'm asking now, what about the direction of friction on them? How to predict? Again, the same formula. Velocity of 1 with respect to 2. So how U12 bar will be? U12 bar velocity of block with respect to platform will be in this direction. No? So therefore the friction on the block by the platform will be in this direction. Then what is velocity of the platform with respect to the block will be in this direction. U21. Then now the friction on the platform, it should act in this way. I should show exactly below to make you understand what I'm showing this one. This is the direction of friction. Similarly, if the block is having velocity less than platform, let me take this velocity 3 meters per second and let this be 5 meters per second. Then what is the velocity of block with respect to platform will be in this direction. Then how the friction on the block will act? In the action. Then what is the velocity of the platform with respect to block will be in this direction. Then how the friction on the platform should act? The friction on the platform should be in this direction. Are you getting no? So look at the friction. Friction will act always opposite to direction of motion. Look at the velocity of block, 6 meters per second. How the friction acting? Backward. Look at the velocity of block, 3 meters per second towards right. How the friction is acting? In the direction of motion. So it's not like something friction must act opposite to direction of motion. Wrong statement. Friction will act to oppose relative motion. This is the thing. Most of the numericals, what happen, we do come across a situation where it is like the ground, where the block, what happen, the ground will be at rest. So therefore, Naturally we say it is acting opposite to motion, but what is the definition? The friction will act opposite to motion. Sir, what is this friction? What is the nature of friction? It's that relative motion is there between surfaces. It should be kinetic. It must be kinetic in nature. So shall we put a statement? The friction will always act to oppose relative motion. So the statement, the friction always acts to oppose relative motion. Friction always acts in a direction, or just this will be then relative motion. How to predict the direction of between surfaces? You have to take the relative velocity. There's no another thing. The problems difficulty will increase for you like anything. So we got the basic definition. Let me introduce one more. This is a block.